everybody, welcome back to the channel and more Blood and Plunder as we keep going through Raise the Black factions. Today we're taking a look at the other Dutch faction, so they only get the two in here, but still more stuff, more factions for everybody in some capacity. So this one is the Dutch Caribbean Militia, again roughly covering 1700 to 1730, which is what the book or what this expansion covers. So cool thing is it's another one. Obviously we get force special rules, plenty of units and all that, but it's always exciting when we get force options as well, because it really adds to the mileage or variation or use that you're going to get out of the force. So if you already collect Dutch and play them, you know, you're trying out the faction, you really have so many options for getting the most out of what you're trying to play with here. So, and that keeps the game from getting stale for everybody, because there's just so many things in this game. So let's jump right in with the force special rules. So they got the two. At the end of the turn, if this force has more strike points than it did at the end of the previous turn, you remove a point of fatigue from all non-shaken units in the force. And I think we've seen that one before, and that's actually pretty potent. So, you know, if the game's not quite going your way and you've essentially acquired a strike point, which will happen throughout the game, just, you know, it's not like you're going to play a game where you just don't lose any models unless you're just having the best of luck. But nonetheless, at some point you're going to acquire a strike point, and as long as you have, you know, a lot of units who aren't shaken, but you've acquired some fatigue, it's like a force-wide, you know, almost removal on that, and getting that many things. You know, if, let's say you have like 4 or 5 units and they all have that 1 point of fatigue, not shaken, getting all those removed at once is huge, right? You think about not wasting time taking actions to remove that, rally tests, or, you know, other resources to essentially do that. It's you know, giving up command points for rally tests, etc. Like, it's so huge. It's almost in some ways getting like a partial extra turn for free, and potentially you could trigger this a couple times throughout the game, so can be huge, and especially for defensive purposes, keeping you in the fight longer is pretty huge. The other one is interesting. We have not seen this before. So the commander of this force, whoever that is, and it's pretty clear on that, so I would assume, the way that this reads, then even if we take the named character Jeremiah von Collin, he would get that too, because it's just very clear, the commander of the force, not generic commander. So Castilian as a special rule, we have not seen that one yet, and so just referencing it here, I'm just going to read it verbatim so we can kind of cover it and make sure everyone understands. So grants your units a +1 bonus to resolve tests when the unit is rallying, while in the same fortification as the commanding model. So as you can see, so like a lot of this seems to be then defensive oriented, which again is a militia force, you know, maybe they're occupying a fort or something like that. This can be a really cool ability. So certainly there's some scenarios out there that take advantage of fortifications and things like that. So basically being able to shake off fatigue pretty quickly while you're taking cover, things like that is pretty cool. So really neat ability there. So these two force special rules work pretty well together, and again, just making it that much tougher for the enemy to really get you to suffer from fatigue and things like that. So really they're gonna have to focus more on wiping you out. Now, as far as unit selections goes, unlike a lot of the other forces we've seen recently where it's very, very heavily geared towards core or support, and this is more of a balanced selection here and that we have like essentially the same variety of units or amount of units available in both sections. So without getting into all the details of all the units here, because that would sort of blow up the video as far as the length goes, we're trying to keep these relatively compact in this overview series. But we have on the core the Militi, the Jewish Militia, the Zvarti Militi, Lateris Soldaten, and European soldiers on the line. So a pretty good selection there. And again, as the Caribbean Militia list, we've got essentially 3 militia units in that core section there, with some pretty cool, more like line troop type of units. The support is where we get, again, a lot of neat specialists. Grenadiers, the Vrij Companion, Zeeleden. We've seen the Zeeleden in a lot of forces, right? But then, because it's sort of Caribbean militia, right, so we're getting to take advantage of some native troops as well. You got the warriors and the warrior musketeers as natives, and then artillerymen as well, which is a key little wrinkle in the force as far as having that option. So all in all, a really good selection. Again, we have plenty to choose from both core and support, so we can really customize in different ways. The command options, as we've seen, standard commander or Jeremiah von Collin. Again, we're going to cover the characters in a separate series of videos, again, just to keep things compact here. But really, you got, if you want to run the special character, obviously probably going to be more pricey in general. Keep in mind, as it reads here, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but then even the special character would actually gain a special rule, which we have not seen yet, I think, really, as like a force special rule popping onto the commander as well. The standard commanders, of course. But where this really gets exciting is like, hey, if you're not, or if you're tired of playing the vanilla version of the Force, we have 2 Force options, and that's just one of the cool things with Blood and Plunder. You have already all these options to play the game. Are you playing on land, on the water, amphibious, ship to shore and all that. And then there's all the different scenarios and other variables, right? But then Force options, hey, this is a variation on the Force. So the Frontier Patrol, the Vrij Companion and Warrior Musketeers actually become core, while the European Regulars and Zvarta Militia become support. So it's just really playing around with the unit selection and making it easier to get more of the first 2 there, the Vrij and the Warrior Musketeers. So you can have more of those at the expense, or at the cost of the Regulars going to support, and one of the militia units, the Zvarte, go to support as well. So that's option A, and you can play around with that. Now the other one is the Dutch GWC Garrison. The Zvarta Militia, again, they seem to be getting the brunt of the moving around. They become support units, and this force's commander may spend one of its unit actions to gain an additional command point during its activation. So that's actually pretty cool. So if you're sort of balling on a budget here with like the cheaper commanders, if you give up one of your unit's actions, you can always sort of force that extra command point, which is nice because you don't have to, depending on what you've got going. But it is nice to have that, so you can kind of go a little bit cheaper on the commander, maybe squeeze in a couple extra bodies there for your units to play that game. But also, if you have the 3 command point commander, you still have that option, if I'm not mistaken, then. So really you could potentially push a 4th command point, which would be actually pretty damn exciting. And in some cases, we'll review the special character here separately, but if it's a special character that is already a 3 command point character, generally they tend to be pretty good and have some really fun abilities. So having that 4th command point on top of some of the things they can do is really interesting. So both cool options here. Again, sort of force manipulation on both of them, although with this one coming with that sort of command point shenanigan thing, which could be really interesting. So of the 2, the one that jumps out to me more right now is just that one, just because I think you could have some real fun with trying to abuse that. But nonetheless, all in all, a pretty cool list for the Dutch here. Let us know in the comments, guys, which version of the list have you tried out, if not all of them, and which one have you found the best success with. Hit us up in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.